I've had a lot of conversations with parents of kids of all ages, and there's this real fear of sending their kids to school, right? Because you see the news of these mass shootings, and sometimes it feels like to them, they really don't know if their kid is going to come home. And I'm sure as within your involvement of Moms Demand Action, you've had similar conversations. But after this shooting, Rhode Island's governor directed the state's education officials for both K through 12 as well as higher education to, quote, conduct a full review of their school safety and security plans. Specifically, as a mom and as an activist, what would you want to see in those plans?
When we're thinking about school safety plans, there's lots of data-based and trauma-informed ways that folks should be looking at keeping their schools safe. I think one thing that we absolutely do is we work with school districts across this country, and we make sure that there's information that goes into the backpacks of kids their first week of school that inform their parents about secure storage. I've said this several times already, but that's a huge deal. Making sure firearms are securely locked away and separate from ammunition so that kids and others that should not have access to these firearms don't get their hands on them. When we look at tragedies like school shootings, then we often see a link between someone getting access to a firearm that had no business having a firearm. So I think we can start there with those basic conversations. But I also think we need to expand it out. Yes, it's schools. We need to look at that, but around the schools and neighborhoods, communities, this isn't just a school shooting problem. We see this houses of worship. This happens. We have supermarkets. Anywhere we go in American culture right now, you can find yourself in the middle of gun violence. And that is a serious problem. And we need to do everything in our power to address that and make sure that, solutions are made clear to folks, because there's lots of things that we've done, lots of laws and things that have been passed, and there's so much more to be done. So we're going to keep working on our end to make sure, again, that communities are safe from the harm of gun violence.
And to that point, you said you can go into any community and encounter gun violence in this country. Because it can impact anyone, it shouldn't be a political issue. It is a political issue in this country, though. I want to talk about President Trump's response to this shooting in general. He did offer his condolences to the families of the 2 victims who were killed. He wished a speedy recovery to the 9 other victims who were injured. He said, Brown University, great school, really one of the greatest schools anywhere in the world. Things can happen. He also said that this was a school problem. Brown University had their own guards and their own police. What do you make of that response?
So what I would say is that, we're talking about people's lives that have been stolen. This should not be callous. This should not be something that we just kind of brush away as someone else's problem. We are all responsible for this. This is not just a Brown University thing. This is about access to firearms in this country. It's about having common sense gun laws that we know are proven to save lives. And it's about being there for the students and community and families all around Brown and beyond that are going to need to heal after this. So, I get frustrated when I hear make it so simple. Like, this is an inevitability. This isn't something where say, well, it happens. No, it does not have to happen. And we can't say that when people are now going to be sitting around a holiday table with a loved one that's no longer there. And it happens so much in this country. And we should be tired of it at this point. And we do have solutions for it. And we're going to, again, at Moms Demand Action, Students Demand Action, we're going to keep moving and working with everyone and anyone that's willing to roll up their sleeves and get to work on this issue that is solvable.